Okay, so for those of you who weren't here, I ran an entire dungeon and did a stream talking like I was streaming online, and it was not. So I had just ran an entire dungeon talking to myself, and yep, got around to looking at it, and here we are. So I'm going to share it to the socials, and this isn't going to be a long stream. I just wanted to see what everybody thought about this setup. I know it's rough at best, but you don't get better until you start doing it. And with your help, we can improve and do better together. So, check out. Alright, so let's just run ourselves another dungeon real quick. Now that it's up on socials, maybe we can get some people to check it out. And I have the chat open, so if anybody wants to drop in and say hello, you'll see it. So, Duty Finder essentially will give you a list of all of the different dungeons and raids and trials, PvP, PvE situations that you can get, tombstones, currency, all of that stuff. I just ran an expert by myself thinking that I was streaming, which is hilarious in hindsight. So right now, you see right here the adventurer in need is a tank. That is me. So I'm going to hop in on there. It's going to give you a bonus for an adventurer in need. Essentially what happens is if a lot of people are queuing up and you need a specific type of job, tank, DPS, or healer, it'll give you a bonus to sign up for that duty as that class. It's never difficult for a tank or a healer to get a pop, is what they call it. Pop the Duty Finder. When I had the expert on, it literally just popped up as soon as I logged on. So, with all that being said, we don't have to wait too long in order for this to go through. In the meantime, the reason why we do all these things is so we can get currency. Currency essentially will get you better gear, and better gear will allow you to use to go to harder dungeons. With every patch and every update, they add new content that you can run, which will then in turn get you more tombstones, more currency, and then more gear. So a lot of times there'll be a hub town. Yulmore right here is the hub town for ShadowBringers. That's where you can trade in all the tombstones that you've been collecting. And then eventually, all of this will be obsolete. Right now I'm working towards the most expensive part of the most rare currency that you can get. This tombstone right here for the Crystarium gear. If I run a couple, maybe dozen more dungeons, I'll be able to get the 825 that I need in order to get this. As you can see, I'm sitting at item level 460. That's quite a jump to 490. And as you can see right there, the numbers speak for themselves. You can also try on these things. Looks pretty cool. I don't know, I like it when they look like a little bit less gowny, dressy. I don't know. So if you see right here, we've got the Allegory tombstones, which is the rare ones, and then the Phantasmagoria. I have a lot of that. The idea of it is, I'm not going to get this guy right here, because I already did it, which was silly. I should have just gotten the accessories, or worked on something else, because ideally, you want to have your best stuff. All of this is just going to help you get you to the best stuff. I always like to get the most expensive stuff first and then work my way down, but I am rich tombstones. So no need to worry about any of that right now because we popped for the duty. And we'll run that real quick, and I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to call it a stream after that because I got some communication on a commission that was needed for something, and it's always business before pleasure. Trust me, as soon as I can make this a full-time thing, then if this starts paying the bills, then, you know, other things can take the back seat, which is the end game. Look at this Mario looking Lalafell. Come on now. Yes. The group likes it too. Alright. Lalafells are universally hated in this game because they're just the way that it is. There's a bias. So obviously this Lalafell playing the game is 1 point, so I'm going to assume that they've been playing this game for a while, so I'm going to do a really heavy, big point. So, before, when I thought I was streaming, I was explaining all of these different abilities that I'm doing and why I'm doing it. It's always, at least in my opinion, a good idea to use the arm's length ability when you're being attacked by a lot of mobs, or when you're pulling a lot of mobs. And that is because arm's length is an ability that will inflict the slow ability if you're attacked by that mob, which essentially means when they hit you, it hurts you. And then it slows down their attacks, which means I don't have to get healed as much by the healer. And then the healer can do more DPS, burn the mobs down. So that was a good first large pull. I held back a little bit just to make sure that the healer was on point, and that I can trust the dancer and the summoner. Is that a summoner? No, that's a summoner. Sorry. To do what they have to do. And if we got a dancer and a samurai, then we're going to be okay. It's pretty regarded as very high DPS. With the Gunbreaker tank, which is essentially a DPS tank, I think would be alright for anything. So now we're down to 2. I'm going to go to my single rotation to essentially clean them up. It takes 3 abilities to get the cartridge, as opposed to the 2 that you would need in order to get a cartridge with an area of effect. But the trade-off is obviously, since you're using an area of effect, it's not going to do as much damage. There we go. I don't know if the game had a head part or me, but so once again I hit the arm's length to slow everybody down. And then I have an ability called No Mercy. What that does is enables my attacks to be a lot more damaging. And essentially the whole point of these top 12 rotations is to build up to a burst attack. You want to line up the burst attacks with the buffs so you get the maximum damage or heals inside that window. And you can be really nice with it if the people that you play with are aware that you're filling up these buffs, and then they will also unload their burst abilities. Alright, so here's our first boss of the dungeon. And as I was saying before, usually what they do is they'll do 2 different types of attacks. One will be the single target, then another one will be for the rest of the group. These mechanics, and they'll slowly start overlapping the mechanics. Here you can see one of the sharks jumped out and jumped in. We gotta just keep an eye on it. And I keep forgetting if this blue one does the donut or the single. That's the single. So we just need to keep that in mind. The blue one, when it swims around, it's going to do a circle. The other one's swimming around. You just have to keep an eye on it. It's going to stop. And then I'm going to get kind of close, I think. I'll need to see what it does first, because I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's a cone. I don't know why I thought there was a donut. Maybe that's later on. So same as before, we're just going to keep an eye on homeboy over here. Keep an eye on the bar. Yeah, you see that Lalafell right there? If he paid attention, he would have seen it coming. Alright, so the blue is the circle, and the red is the cone. So we're just keeping an eye on both of them. He's going to stop, and he's going to hit that cone attack. Well, it doesn't matter because he's dead. Come on, dancer. Should have been paying attention, friend. But it doesn't matter. Burn him down. Any of this. However, I do need to sit down and go through my inventory because I have a ton of stuff that I'm not going to be able to use until I level up my other classes and jobs, which is a long time. So I'd be better off just getting Joel. I'll be doing all these dungeons a million times over anyway, so it's not like I won't get them back. So we got 3 mobs right here, doing the area of effect abilities. Now we got a lot of mobs here. Just gonna grab the hate from all of them. I'm gonna pop the mercy, and then I also popped the arm's length. And that's gonna slow everybody down. It's going to improve my damage output. And it will burn down these mobs faster. See, I don't even need to pop my abilities to mitigate or heal myself, which is good. As you can see, the Astrologian is using its area of effect gravity to help burn down these mobs. If I was taking damage, then the healer would be preoccupied with trying to heal me, because I'm taking all the damage. But since we're able to line up all of these abilities in a specific way, that helps all of us. I dare anybody to try to pronounce what those mobs' names are. So I filled up some cartridges and the Faded Circle ability. It's essentially a buffed version of an AoE attack. Once we get down to 3 or 2 mobs, these single target locations. Takes an extra step to get the partial, but the damage output is better. Vincent Strife. Alright, I'm not going to judge. My character's name is from Final Fantasy 13, which was universally not liked. So that was a grade-wide attack. It's going to attack everybody. All you can do is just shield and heal to it. So right here, this boss's attack is lifting up its tentacles and dropping them down. So you just got to be mindful of where they're raised up. Since you got to just pay attention to what they're doing. The dancer didn't do against the sharks. And then that was just luck right there. I forgot that you have to keep an eye out on its ass because it will shoot out some bile and get status effects. So I need to get out of these purple things. What they're going to do is cause me to walk slow, and that's not going to be good. It's going to give me heavy, I guess. Effect. Alright, so if you notice now, it's going back to the tentacle thing, but now we have these other mechanics that we have to deal with. So they'll always introduce the mechanic first by itself, and then they'll layer it on top of the next thing, or do it with a slight difference. Keep an eye on his ass. Nope, on his mouth. That's what it is. Push it up down. No, you're not to worry about that. Treasure Coffer always points you in the direction where you need to go next after a boss fight. Sometimes you get disoriented. And we congratulate everybody, of course. Y'all vibing to this track, man? Alright, so I'll make sure that I got hate on everybody, and then I'll just keep it moving. Oh, unless homie drops a thing. I'm gonna keep it right there. Yeah. You gotta keep it right there. If you see those sparkles down on the ground right there, it's the Astrologian. He dropped this this buff, and if we're inside the buff, every time he heals me, it's gonna be a little bit more. Then eventually what happens after the cooldown, or after the ability is done, it's going to do an area of effect attack on everybody. So it's a little bit of both. You get some heals and then you get some attacks, which is nice. burn down the rest of these guys with a single rotation. And throughout the dungeons, you'll get some lore drops. You'll be kind of told the story as to what's going on as it's happening. This is an interesting one because essentially you're going through the, I guess, the memories or the ruins of the end of this very ancient civilization. And you're essentially seeing the end of their world. Super fascinating. These stories have been being told for years now. There's literally years worth of lore that you can follow in this story. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. The names are difficult enough to remember as is because they're so obtruse, but immerse yourself in it enough and you start picking up on it. Burning down the last two on single rotations. Burning that mob. Alright, now we're at the final boss of the there's a battle, I think. Once we get the Alright, so now do the ready check again. Let's heck and go! It'll be interesting to see this boss's attacks in 60 frames. So right here, all of the characters in the group are developed in a circle. So what happens is you're not supposed to have your characters close to each other for that. Increase the damage out there. So essentially you just got to stay away from each other. Socially distanced, if you will. Same as before. You don't want to stand inside of these kind of circles. Still heavy hitting. Alright, so this is cool. It's going to shoot us back. And then we're going to need to run. Yeah, that still looks cool. It gets real close. Rest in peace, Dancer. Oh, see? That's what I was talking about. Got that pinwheel attack right there. And if you noticed, the samurai picked up an orb and it said damage up. So some of these things on the ground, they're all not trying to kill you. sometimes you'll need them in order to bring down the wall. Circles again. Stay away from me, stay away. Cutting real close right there. A little bit more than halfway down. So now you're going to start seeing these good thing I got a gap closing ability. Alright, so close to 20% down. Circles, gap away. Ah, that was a heavy hit. Kind of useless because bumping up a healer's damage should be me, but I was too occupied. Alright, so for the last 10% of this boss fight, Quetzalcoatl is essentially from Final Fantasy VIII, I think. First time that introduced, which is interesting. You always get these cameos from other Final Fantasy games. And just like 8, we put it in the ground because he sucked. Don't want that. Congratulate everybody. Bid them farewell. Maybe I'll just hang out for a second. Oh, nobody wanted to give me credit. Well, heck, all of those guys. All right, feeling good about this. I'm gonna go back and look it over and see how it turns out. Again, this is all work in progress. So I know it's gonna be rough. I know the setup isn't ideal, but I think that with a little bit of practice, we'll be able to do a lot better than what we did right here. So thank you for catching it on the live stream if you caught it. I can tell you right now nobody did, but if you're catching it on the replay, thank you. Let me know what you think, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.